This book is so important. That's why when Martin Luther was going up and down the stairs hoping to work his way to heaven with these bloody knees and praying, and then this monk comes out of nowhere, taps him on the shoulder and says, hey, read the book of Romans. Reads the book of Romans, and as he's doing this, the just shall live by faith. Faithing. Okay, and the Reformation is born. There's something very powerful hidden within the writings with Paul, and if he is who he says he is, writing 2/3 of our New Testament, if he was really taught by Jesus Christ himself, okay, then we should probably pay attention. Because people like James, and there's actually, I very rarely use James because of the fact that, he's very big on works. And yes, a changed heart, you are going to have the desires of God, so, you don't have to do it to, fake it to make it. If you come under the hearing and faith comes by hearing, you're going to start to change, and before you even notice it, people around you that have been like, wow, that guy, that girl is just not the same anymore. The change is going to happen before you start to notice it. Okay? If that seed is really starting to plant and take root. Alright? But the important thing is coming under the hearing of preaching. Coming under the hearing of the word. Okay? That's why I used to say all the time, is it in you? Like the Gatorade commercial, thy word I have hid in my heart, this old song that we used to sing in church back in the day. Thy word I have hid in my heart that I might not sin against you. Thy word I have hid, thy word I have hid, that I might not sin against you. How beautiful is that? So like if that is in you, if God is in you, then when it comes to that choice of, wow, should I steal this pack of gum like when I was a little boy? And I did, I stole it. But I didn't have that Sunday school teacher behind me going, or in the back of my head saying, thou shalt not steal. I didn't have that yet, And I seen it, I wanted it, I did what I want when I wanted to do it, Now I wouldn't steal a pack of gum, But still, we all sin in some way. And, the people that do sin the worst are the ones that say, I never sin. It's spiritual pride. And that's one of the worst things because it's the one thing that's hidden from the world for the most part. It's something very hard to conquer within our own hearts. And man, we really do have to stay humble, because there's no one that's going to ever walk up to God the Father and say, look at all these things that I did. I never knew you, All right, so any other questions? All right, I got one little note here. Isaiah 9:2. Somebody want to look that up? I had this written down at the very bottom of this last page, so I figured that it must have been something for the very end of this chapter study.
Got it.
Wow. Go for it.
The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned.
How beautiful is that? A quote again. It must have came from a commentary. I just didn't have a note on who said it. Why does God give civilization over to darkness? In reference to this quote. It is only when darkness prevails and despair and violence are rampant that men are ready to welcome the light. So, for all of us, I hope we never get to that point where we're in this utter darkness, where we're in this utter given overness of God. Hopefully we never see that. Hopefully we can stay humble. And definitely read the book of Romans. Okay. Next week we will start chapter 2. And basically the idea in chapter 2, here we're all sinners. Okay. If you love your sin more than God, then finally God will remove himself from you. And what is left is a whole lot of bad stuff. Okay. It's not a specific sin because every sin will lead you to this. In fact, if you love stealing bubble gum to the point of every time you go to a store you have to steal a pack of bubble gum, guess what? God will give you over even to that little thing that we see as kind of, it's 60 cents or $1, whatever it is. He'll give you over to that to the point of eventually you are going to get caught. You're going to have pockets full of bubble gum. And that will be your demise. So no matter how little the sin is, whatever the sin is, if you love that more than God and not let him into that part and say, all right, I'm going to listen to you and this is wrong, then he will give you over to that completely. And at that point, it's very hard to come back. Some people don't. I've known people who are given over to their sins. There are some that I still pray for to this day that were given over to certain sins and drugs that I hope one day come around. I hope not to see any of us in that place. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.